with reactions to the passing of a legend and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for October 1st. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking to the 5 Count about her return to WWE, Bayley noted how she is adjusting to the schedule, saying, "It has been pretty hard to be honest. It's been a lot of fun, and I've been doing things that I've never done before, and it's been an honor being on all the shows, just running wild on all the shows, but my body is so confused. I was home for a year rehabbing, and now it's like, oh wait, you still do this? Do you still wrestle? Do you still travel like a madwoman? So now that my body and my immune system is catching up to that travel schedule again, I'll be alright. WWE lifestyle is so wild, but I've been having such a great time." Talking after the bell about Sami Zayn, Shane Helms praised the honorary Uce. "Sami is right now, and I have no problem saying this, Sami is the top performer in this entire industry. That's how good Sami is. It's daunting sometimes. Sami has a reputation, you know, he'll drive you bananas, but the end result is always a home run or grand slam. His WrestleMania match with Johnny Knoxville was definitely a grand slam. He was the perfect guy for that. His personality and Johnny's, they were so compatible to each other. Using all the members of all the Jackass crew and all the gadgets, it all came together like so crazy, and just a lot of creativity from everybody involved. It was just a massive team effort." Helms would also reveal that he pitched the idea for Zayn's match against Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania to end with the giant mousetrap spot. The human mousetrap was actually my idea. Me and Knoxville were hanging out in Miami at a bar, and I don't know exactly what set it up, but I was like, yeah, we should just get a giant mousetrap and catch Sami with it. We were looking at each other, and he got on his phone right away and was like, I'm getting it done. With Solo Sikoa's interference costing Drew McIntyre the title in his match against Roman Reigns at Clash of the Castle, McIntyre spoke to my San Antonio about facing Reigns down the line. "That is who I am, and I will get a shot at the title. I will go around to the entire Bloodline family, knock on their door, then apologize, and then beat them up. Then I will go to the Rock store and say, I am so sorry. You are such a great guy. Your mother is awesome. She looked after my wife at WrestleMania all those years ago. But I am going to have to beat you up because you might show up while I'm fighting Roman. I have to take out the whole family. I am sorry." Speaking about her transformation over the last year in WWE with Sport Bible Australia, Rhea Ripley said, "I feel like this is a different side of me compared to the Rhea Ripley from a year ago. It's just different personas and emotions inside of me that get to come out. I'm being very cheeky on TV these days and getting my hands dirty, and it's been a lot of fun." On Smack Talk, pro wrestling legend Dutch Mantel spoke about the backstage segment between Andrade and Preston Vance, calling out AEW for having these moments end abruptly. They don't have long enough interviews, and they don't really describe anything. All of a sudden, Andrade was talking to somebody, and if Preston loses, he takes the mask off, and then Andrade leave AEW forever if he lost. With AEW putting out a statement letting fans in Mexico as well as South and Central America and the Caribbeans know that AEW won't be available on Space, Lucha Blog replied, pointing out that having slept on it, I'm still struck by AEW putting out a press release only in English to announce they're no longer airing in Spanish-speaking countries. Canal Space did put out a message saying something similar in Spanish. Handling and managing multiple languages are tough when you've got a lot going on and not enough time. This is usually my problem too. Still weird. During an interview with BT Sport, Seth Rollins was asked about his former Shield brethren Jon Moxley and his relationship with him today, as he said, "I don't talk to him as much obviously. We have opposite schedules and different stuff, but our baby girls are close to the same age. And he's not much of a texter, like he's an in-person cat. He's not much of a texter or a phone guy, he's an in-person dude. So if there's ever a chance, when we were in Cincinnati last time I was there, I popped in the house to say hi and all that, checked in on him. I do that periodically just to see how he's doing and stuff. stuff, but I'm close with Renee Paquette, so we are always exchanging baby pictures and what is new with the kids. But yeah, never any animosity. He's great. He's at the top of his game doing his thing over in AEW, so nothing but the best. I've never, between the three of us, I can't speak for any of them, but they were closer than I was with either of those guys as friends off camera, so I assume that they are still chill. I've never heard anything to the contrary. But yeah, I've always had a great relationship with those guys. Rollins would also note during that same interview how it was having a fan jump the barricade and tackle him on Raw last year. It was so fast, I didn't really have any time to process it. The only thought I remember having is when he was on top of me and they were already pulling him away, but he had like a handful of my hair and I was just trying to punt him off me with whatever foot I had underneath. My instinct was to grab his head immediately just to control his head. I don't have any jiu-jitsu training at all, so whether I did anything right or wrong is completely instinctive. But yet my instinct was just as soon as I knew that someone was upon me, just to control his head as best I could. I was just thankful that security was there. I was thankful that he wasn't armed in any way. That could have gone very badly. And then in the aftermath, I just felt bad for him. When I saw online what his situation was, and that he had possibly been catfished out of some money, and his mental capacity wasn't great, I just felt bad. I felt bad that there wasn't anybody in his life that could help him out. It was an unfortunate situation, but I think was handled as best as it could all the way around. Recalling his feud with Bray Wyatt's character The Fiend, Seth Rollins told BT Sports Ariel Helwani, the Bray Wyatt character was just difficult. If you look at anybody that worked with the Bray Wyatt character for an extended period of time, they didn't come out of it better than they went in. It was very difficult to have a story with him, where aside from Randy, it was difficult for anyone. I think maybe Daniel Bryan might have escaped a little unscathed, but I mean everyone else pretty much met a dire end for their character. I mean that was the end for the Seth Rollins character as you knew it, the Beast Slayer character, you know? It was tough figuring out how to tell a good wrestling story with that character. I was not good at the phenomenology stuff. I wasn't able to interweave that with reality enough to make what I felt was a captivating story. Rollins would then talk about the infamous Red Light Hell in a Cell match against The Fiend, which would end in a DQ and have fans booing. I could have moved on to something else, and he could have had his run as champion, but that wasn't the case, and we played the hand we were dealt. And that was not our call. I knew he would tell you the same thing. That did not go the way we wanted it to. We tried and we tried and we tried, and the boss, at the time, would not budge. Like I said before, it is not our sandbox, you know? We are actors on a stage sometimes, and we read the lines. Reacting to CM Punk's rant after All Out, WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam said on Rene Dupree's podcast, I think there's a good chance that CM Punk, just from feeling his energy, probably has as big of an ego as anybody that I've interacted with in the business. It's great. Those are the guys that get ahead, are the guys that really believe in themselves, but then at the same time, it's really hard for me as another guy in the locker room or whatever, so it's always hard for me to take that energy when I think they believe themselves too much. But when someone comes back through the curtain after their character could have given the most believable speech, they got all the heat in the world, if they can come back through the curtain and then be humble and then realize that they're one amongst many, then that's a really good place to be in. It's balance. In some unfortunate news, a legend of the pro wrestling business, Antonio Inoki, has passed away to the age of 79. Many in the wrestling business as such paid their respects to the legend, one of the most important figures in the history of our business, and a man who embodied the term fighting spirit. The legacy of WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki will live on forever. Rest in peace, Antonio Inoki, a pioneer in the pro wrestling industry. Inoki's influence and his achievements will live on forever in the wrestling world. He's an inspiration to all of the dreamers. Thank you, sir. Impact Wrestling would like to extend our condolences to the family, friends, and fans of Antonio Inoki. We are saddened to learn of his passing and know his legacy will live forever. The National Wrestling Alliance sends its condolences to the friends and family of pro wrestling pioneer Antonio Inoki, an NWA Tag Team and United National Champion, and most importantly, a legend that will be remembered forever in our business and beyond. I'm a professional. Wrestlers, boxers, karate men. I will take on the challenge. Anywhere, anytime, anyone's challenge, I will accept it. I love that Corey Graves mentioned that Antonio Inoki won the WWE title, and WWE never officially recognized it. Vince McMahon would have never allowed him to say that. Triple H doing the right thing and acknowledging history. Rest in peace, Antonio Inoki. Talking at ad-free shows about possibly taking a creative role in WWE, Sean Waltman said, "No, I'd like to just come in once in a while, like we're doing on October 10th at Barclays, do little appearances like that. I go and do these Comic-Cons and different appearances several times a month, and it's very stress-free, and I know how my life is right now. I don't see myself getting on a plane. I get on planes all the time, but to go and have to deal with, sometimes it can get pretty combative, and being backstage and clash of opinions, I just assume to stay slightly removed from all that. If they really needed me, I just don't think they really need me. Not that I don't have anything to offer. When I was younger, I used to have a vision, but I'm a 50-year-old man. I listen to the young girls and guys. I wouldn't mind doing something that didn't require a huge commitment. You know what I would do? Those panels before the pay-per-views, I'd be good at that, just throwing that out there." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.